we're in the land between this world and the next.
Finally!
We did it. We got here on the purple river of blood.
Woo!
Yeehaw.
Yeehaw.
That's what we're going to be discussing this week here on Jared Now Watching Inuyasha's episode 158. I'm Jared, joined always by Doc Al and Ladium.
Hello!
We are discussing Season 6, Episode 17, or Episode 155, entitled The Demon Protector of the Sacred Jewel Shard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Naraku cuts off that big bird's head, and then just a bunch of blood just comes flowing out of it like it's a river rapid.
Yeah.
I don't think blood's supposed to be that foamy and that fast.
I don't think so. I don't think it's supposed to make a river.
No, but that's what it does here. It's a purple river.
Purple river, purple river, purple river.
Yeah, Naraku gets in his bubble and just rides the current down to where it'll take him to the netherworld.
He's just
and
taking the rapids.
Yeah, and Inuyasha and the gang have to follow suit, and there's luckily a bunch of nice
Stones?
rocks just scattered about that Inuyasha can just hop between them and make his way over there.
Mm-hmm.
Miyoga's like, we can't go there. We won't have a way back. And they're like, well, too late for that.
We'll figure it out later.
And Naraku's going to have the same problem. It's fine. We'll figure it out. We see Sesshomaru and his gang just hanging out. They come across the beheaded big bird and they're like, whoa, that's weird. And Sesshomaru's like, there's a lot of blood here. Now it's like gone. No scent or anything. That's weird. And Kagura's like, hey, what's up? Guess you were late. Jock like just berates her. He's like, yeah, my lord will not have anything to do with you. And then Sesshomaru gets started up to her. It's like, what do you mean we were late? What's going on?
He's like, oh, well, guess maybe you will.
She's like, yeah, that was an entry point to the netherworld essentially, but I got the deets on another one if you want that, but it could be too dangerous for you. Might not make it through alive. And Sesshomaru's just like, I bet I can. Basically.
Bet.
Inuyasha and the gang make it through to the netherworld, and they're like, oh yeah, I remember this place. There's my dad.
Which,
He's
like, of course
here.
they remember this place. They've been talking about where it was, and, like, they knew that it was this. So I don't know why there's this whole thing of, like, oh, wow, it's this place again. Like, we
Yeah.
know that.
They get on a little skeleton bird, Inuyasha and Kagome do.
Yeah.
And then Inuyasha has a weird flashback to his past where he's, like, hugging his mom getting chased by demons.
Oh, also, he did that really wild move where he, like, dove into a rock to, like, make sure that they didn't fall.
Yeah.
Which then also, like, threw the other crew around. And we were talking about how Moroku was, like, holding everybody in with a seatbelt because of his staff, which came in handy. But yeah, it was a
very
really,
good.
really weird move that he did. I don't know how he did that or why he did that. Anyway, baby version of Inuyasha.
Yeah, he gets that little flashback, and Kagome's like, yo, you're right. He's like, huh, I'm back. What's going on? And they're just like hanging out, just flying towards the big grave of Dad, and then a bunch of stuff just starts flying at them. It's just a bunch of little tiny spears of diamond.
Mm-hmm.
They're like dodging and weaving, and Yasha's like deflecting them with the sword, and Miyoga's like, oh my god, those are splinters of adamant. And Kagome's like, oh, you mean diamond, right? Miyoga's like, what the heck is a diamond? That's adamant, the hardest material in the world.
That's actually a pretty good goof.
It is a very good goof. They have not found the word diamond yet.
No,
We just have adamant. But they are both talking about the same thing, of course.
they are.
Kagome sees the glow of the jewel shard coming from that direction, and they show up there, and they're like, there's just a big skull coming out of a bunch of crystals and everything. They're like, what the heck is this? And the body, or the little head comes out and is like, hey. And Miyoga's like, wait a minute. Is that you, Hosenki?
I know that skull anywhere.
And Hosenki's like, Miyoga? Well, if that's the case, you must be Inuyasha. Oh, hello. I made the black jewel for you. Or the black pearl, whatever it was. Black pearl jewel, black pearl. Bam, balam.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they have a little chit chat and everything. Hosenki, of course, is the guy they tried to find earlier.
To get another route here.
Yeah, essentially the beginning of this arc where they were trying to find a new Black Pearl, and they found like his apprentice or whatever, who's now taking over for him,
His
and now
son.
I forgot if it was apprentice or son. But now here's actual Hosenki. He's just hanging out here, and
Dead.
Dad's skeleton. So they're like, hey,
Dead guy hangs out in dead guy.
that's how it works. They're like, hey, can you give us the jewel shard? He's like, no, the
No.
jewel shard spoke to me, and it doesn't want to get into the hands of evil like all of the rest of it. Doesn't want to become whole again. That seems bad. So I'm going to keep it here where no evil can reach it. And they're like, And then a giant eyeball appears and everything goes haywire as Hosenki goes bad as the jewel shard gets evilized. So yeah, Hosenki just starts attacking willy-nilly, and Inuyasha tries to attack him, but he can't use his sword to break the crystals because, of course, it is made of diamond.
Mm-hmm.
So that doesn't work. The wind scar doesn't work. Nothing's really working. And Kagome is able to see that like the jewel shard is black now. She's like, oh, that's bad. Kagome tries to shoot an arrow at it, but it seems like it doesn't do much. It doesn't purify the jewel shard or anything. And she tries to get the one that Kikyo gave her, and it goes, bzzz.
No.
Why did it do that?
And then like everybody dunks on her. It's like, damn, is Kagome not good enough to use that? Wow.
She's got to determine if she's good enough to use it or not. She needs confidence. Have confidence.
Have confidence. Right now, no confidence.
No confidence.
Now's just not the time to use it. Duh.
Yeah.
Plot.
And Inuyasha is able to see, though, that like where Hosenki got hit with the arrow, it was like trying to like cover it up. He's like, oh, well, it must have done some damage there or something. So like, hey, hit it again. She's like, all right, bam. And
I do like that she initially is like, why?
Yeah. And Inuyasha uses the wind scar on the same spot, and then a bunch of pieces fly off, and they're like, yay. And then, but they think they've got this all settled. They're going to get the jewel shard, but then Hosenki says, what did the 5 diamond shards say to the face? And Inuyasha's like, hun, slap. Inuyasha goes flying.
Yep.
Into the misty gorge of the underworld, and that's how we end our episode.
I like the way that you phrase that.
It do be like that.
It do be like that sometimes, you know? You just get slapped by a diamond skull man.
Diamond skull man.
Hanging out in your dad's belly.
Here's my diamond for you.
Blap.
But that's how we end this episode. Next time, we'll be discussing episode 156 entitled Final Battle at the Graveside. It says Graveside. Sesshomaru versus Inuyasha, which I don't know why I don't think they're going to be fighting with each other, but sure. Also, I feel like this would not be the final battle with these two, but
No, but
anime episode title logic.
Right. Racist brother is going to show up, and they've already battled at the graveside before, so like
True.
It would kind of be the same thing to do it again.
Coming full circle, yeah. Kagura's going to lead him here, and Sesshomaru's going to show up, and Kagura believes that the only one who can kill Naraku is Sesshomaru, so I guess we will see how all that goes next time.
Mm-hmm.
But that's going to do it for us this week. So if you'd like more from us, head on over to seasonalanimecheckup.com or sec.co, where you can find past episodes of this podcast and other podcasts like Seasonal Anime Checkup OVA. You'll find columns and reviews on the site as well. If you'd like more from Anladium, go to anladium.com. She's got columns and reviews. You can follow us on Twitter and TikTok at Anime Checkup. Follow us on Blue Sky at seasonalanimecheckup.com. You can buy our books, One Shiny Moment, a critical analysis of Love Life Sunshine, Hot Tubs, and Pac-Man on Amazon.com. And you can support us on Patreon, patreon.com/SACOVA.
Mm-hmm.
So join us next time as a brother shows up.
A racist brother.